So how do you keep up with the ever-changing role of technology as your business has evolved? How do you keep up with that?
That's actually a great question because we are a four-generation company. We've evolved in residential real estate. So you would think an older company that has had success sticks to their knitting and doesn't change. And I think what you stick to are the values, the principles, the culture. But you have to be very determined to go beyond the comfort levels, seek out new proactive ways in which to connect. AK is a global, always envisioned to be a global, communal, residential option. So it is important for us to have the ne plus ultra in technology, especially as it relates to the internet, our website. It is our quasi-international reservation network. It's the way in which we can, in New York, communicate to people in China and India, around the world. So e-commerce is a very important and new way for us to connect and communicate our offering. We're trying to make it more three-dimensional. It's one of the reasons we've gotten more involved in social media. That's part of the adds to the algorithm equation within Google. So we have worked with some of the top e-commerce companies. We have still maintained the integrity of our design by Flux Labs, who's been designing Korman Suites, Korman Communities, AKA since day one. It's part of the AK DNA. So I think business in general is having a balance. So AK is a balance between the space and comfort and fixtures of a condominium with the services of a five-star hotel. Technology, you want to have the latest and greatest within the residence itself, the Lutron systems where you can turn on the lights to a certain dimming level before you even get up there, the key, all that, but you still want to have a home quality, a residential key. You don't want it too technologically laden, but for us to not be as reliant on the human sales force or as reliant on OTAs, third parties, which are expensive, to be more self-sufficient, you really have to embrace technology and stay ahead of the curve. So technology is very important for us because it's a global product. Because we're not a huge company like a Hilton or a Marriott, we have to have better ways to connect and communicate our offering. So that was a very good question. Technology.
So it sounds like with that technology, you're really using it to listen to the subtle things that make the guest experience really important for that individual. Can you tell me a little bit more about that? You mentioned social media, and then you also mentioned the details like the lights in the room. How do you?
Well, you also touched on one thing about how we stay in touch with the individuals staying with us, and we can put together now, thanks to technology, a database of people who stayed with us, why they've stayed with us, what they liked about staying with us, what are things they needed while they were in residence with us. So that's important information to have, so you can continue to communicate relevantly to that audience, and then learn from that audience what are other like-minded residents to be. So all that information is very important, and it gives you a competitive advantage. It's a differentiator over others if you can personalize who's staying with you, why they're staying with you, what they like about staying with you, and on the reverse side, those people who aren't staying with you and what they don't like, so you can get better. Everything's about getting information and getting better, always getting one day better.
Fascinating. My next question is, how do you manage the convergence of hospitality and the residential aspect?
We are a blue ocean in the sense that we're neither apartment, furnished apartment, hotel suite, condominium. We're sort of a balance of all those with our own little special flavor. So there are individuals who want certain things. In the industry, hotel industry in general, they say vacation people want more business services and business people want more vacation. That has started to blend anyway. I think for the person who's staying with us, there are certain levels of hospitality they want, but they don't want in-your-face, constant knocking on the door, housekeeper in there every day, moving your stuff. I think you want that sense when somebody's staying a little longer, that you can read a magazine, leave it on the bed, take your pants off, leave it on the bed, and come back from work and it's still there. But then once a week, have housekeeping, clean it up, and have it tidy the way you would at home. I think you have to balance those needs. A fitness center, for example, if somebody's staying for one day, to have a simple treadmill in these boutique hotels, they may use it, may not, they may walk that day, might not care about skipping a workout, but we have to have spectacular fitness centers because our residents are leaving their home for 2 weeks or 3 months, and they do want to have a good fitness program. Wellness is an integral part of our offering. So there are things we have learned at each property, just as we embrace the architecture of each individual community, embrace the neighborhood, there's continuity to our offering, and there's certain services and amenities we need to have for that longer length stay guest, because it is a blend between hotel, it's a blend between a condominium, it's a blend between what's unique to us. So it's a balancing act that we've kept our finger on the pulse, and we've evolved along the way. From 50 years since we've been doing the furnished apartment, it's been an evolution, and you learn from what that need is.